Hi guys, Dr. D. Nice Beaujolais here, solar powered and energized by the SON. Well, it's First Wednesday and we're going to continue our series on sex. This week we're going to address kissing. But before we do, I know you want to see my outfit. Hold on. It's gorgeous, isn't it? A friend from Uganda gave it to me. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen it, me wearing it during my Black History Month series. I upload a picture every Sabbath of what I wear to church. Anyway, follow me on Instagram at Wisdom Teethinger. Anyhow, let's dive in to our concerns about kissing. Someone asked me, Dr. D. Nice, is kissing sex? Well, let's talk about what the definition of sex is. We mentioned it in the very first video I made on this series where we said kissing, we casted a broad net about what sex is. Basically, we said it was anything that involved any rubbing, stimulating, touching, feeling, manipulating of the organs from the waist to the mid-thigh, as long as somebody in there involved was getting some sort of pleasure from the activity, then we called it sex. I know it's very broad. We had to, so I can include everybody's concern about the sex and sexuality questions. Anyway, so using that definition of sex, kissing is not sex. Unless some people include kissing the vagina and the penis. Really, that's oral sex, and we wouldn't include it in the definition of sex because the definition that we're going to use today of kissing would be to the pressing of the lips together. One human lip to another human lip. Kissing, making out, kissing, okay? Yeah, of course we know there are other variations of kissing. You know, the French, they blow kisses, they kiss this side, as a greeting. Some people just kiss to show a sign of affection, mom and children, and fathers to children, you know, just various little signs of expression or greeting. That's not the kissing that we're talking about because, you know, like I said, there could be a whole lot of reasons for kissing, but today, for our purposes, we're talking about lip-to-lip contact, making out. All right? Anyhow, so using that definition of kissing, like what's the purpose? It really is just a way to show affection, of coming together as a couple. And there are really some benefits to it. It decreases stress. They've even found that kissing can lower the cholesterol level in people that are in monogamous relationships. They didn't find it in other relationships, but in monogamous relationships it can lower cholesterol. So it could be good for your health if used for the right way. So that really is the purpose of one of the benefits that we receive from kissing. So back to the question, is kissing sex? No, it isn't. It isn't. However, what I would call it, it's like pre-sex. What, Dr. D. Nice? Pre-sex? What is that? Anyhow, I'm going to call it pre-sex because some of the same, remember the hormonal storm, rainstorm, snowstorm that occurs during orgasm that we spoke about? Some of those same hormones come out when you're kissing, lip to lip, prolonged making out session. Some of those same hormones come into play. The adrenaline and the noradrenaline, the dopamine, which is the feel-good hormone, the endorphins that causes that euphoria, even the bonding hormone, oxytocin, all of that is coming into play. That's why, you know, when you kiss, especially that first kiss, you get all kind of giddy and happy feeling because all those hormones are just rising up, stimulated by your lips touching lips. And you may wonder, what's that all about? It's just a lip. Well, you know, there are lots of nerve endings in the lip. Or do you? There are anyway, lots of them. And they all go to the brain, which signals the rest of the body and the different places in the body that makes these hormones to shower the body with these wonderful hormones that make you feel good. Have you ever heard this word called homunculus? Well, the homunculus of the lip in the brain is pretty big. It almost looks like, is it Fat Albert? Y'all remember that cartoon, how his lips were really exaggerating big? That's how the homunculus of the lips looks on the brain. So basically what the homunculus is, scientists have mapped out the areas of the brain that relate to parts of the body, and they make the area on the brain, when they draw the picture, represent the size of the area. Am I saying that right? Anyway, so like, you know, some places that don't have a lot of nerve endings look smaller when they get to the brain in that picture, and some areas look bigger when they get to the brain in the picture. The lips is one of the areas that look bigger. Anyhow, that is the homunculus, and it just shows that there are a lot of nerve endings going to the brain that represent the lips. That's why it makes you feel, things feel so good when you kiss somebody. Really, it does. So technically, with all those hormonal storms going on, we're going to refer to kissing as pre-sex, because, you know, unfortunately for a lot of people, or fortunately, it leads down the road to sex. So pre-sex, we're referring to it as. Now, kissing is not without its problems. I know, my eye's itching. When it takes time to itch it. Anyway, so kissing is not without its risk. There are diseases that you can get from kissing. Mono, y'all heard of it, the kissing disease. And herpes you can get from kissing. You cannot get HIV. They've found, it was like one couple that got HIV, and it was because both of them had gum disease, just a very rare case. They haven't really found any other episodes when that happens, but definitely mono and definitely herpes can be passed along from kissing. And, you know, we're just going to jump off to oral sex just a little bit because it's kissing the genitals. That can also, you could pass along gonorrhea and chlamydia that way too. I can't even imagine having that in your mouth, but you can't. So, you know, it's not without its risk. So that's why I'm going to call it pre-sex, just because of some of the same hormones are involved. And you can actually get some STDs from it, and also it tends to lead towards sexual activity. Some couples even save their first kiss for their wedding day because they recognize some of these concerns. There you have it. Hopefully that answered your question. Is kissing sex? My answer is no. I will refer to it as pre-sex. All right, there you have it, guys. Anyway, remember, sex affects your body and your soul. There's no soul condom, so do not wake up sex before it is ready. All right, take care, guys. Oh, send your questions in to questions for Dr. dnice@gmail.com. So any questions you have about sex, send them in to questions for Dr. dnice@gmail.com. I'll be answering them every first Wednesday. Okay, see you next week for our usual Wisdom Wednesday. Bye.